I never should have gone to that party. Something about the night felt off, but I ignored the feeling, brushing it away as paranoia. The music pulsed through the house, shaking the floors. Voices rose and fell, laughter mixing with the hum of conversation. It was the kind of party that made you feel weightless, disconnected, like nothing in the world outside of that house mattered. Jenna had dragged me there, promising it would be fun, that I needed to get out more. And that's when I met him. He wasn't like the others. He didn't stumble over his words or make crude jokes to impress me. He had a quiet intensity, a way of looking at me that made me feel like I was the only person in the world. His name was Ryan. He was tall, broad-shouldered, with sharp green eyes that seemed to see straight through me. "You're different," he said, his voice low and smooth. I laughed, tucking a strand of hair behind my ear. "So are you." There was something in the way he smiled, like he knew something I didn't. I should have walked away right then, but I didn't. I let him pull me in. And that was my first mistake. From that night on, Ryan became a constant in my life. At first, it was thrilling. The way he made me feel special, the way his presence sent a shiver down my spine. I was caught up in it in him. I begged him to stay. And he never left. But soon, the intensity turned into something else. Something darker. He knew things about me he shouldn't have known. He showed up at my house uninvited. He always seemed to know where I was, what I was doing, even when I hadn't told him. My phone would buzz with messages before I even had time to think about texting him first. The first time I came home late and found him waiting on my porch, I felt a flutter in my stomach, thinking it was sweet. The second time, when I knew I hadn't told him where I was going, I felt something else. Something like fear. "How did you know where I was?" I asked, trying to keep my voice light. His lips curved into that same knowing smile. "I just do." I wanted to believe it was love. I wanted to believe he cared. But love wasn't supposed to feel like this. It wasn't supposed to feel suffocating. The first time I ignored his call, he was at my job within the hour. The second time, he was waiting in my car. I started to feel like there was no escaping him. "You don't get to leave me," he said one night, his voice quiet but firm. "You begged me to never stop. Remember?" The words sent a chill through me. I had said them. I had whispered them against his lips, tangled in sheets, lost in a moment where I thought love meant devotion. But I hadn't meant forever. I hadn't meant like this. The night I tried to leave, I learned just how much he had meant those words. I packed a bag when I knew he wouldn't be around, turned off my phone, and crept out of my house. My heart pounded so hard I could barely breathe. I told myself if I could just make it to my car, I'd be free. I'd drive, I'd keep going, and I wouldn't look back. I slid into the driver's seat and turned the key. The engine roared to life. Relief flooded me. But then I heard it, the quiet click of the back door unlocking. Before I could move, before I could scream, his voice was right behind me, breath warm against my ear. "I told you," he whispered. "You don't get to leave." My scream never left my throat.